As the Buddha says, the desire for that which is unavailable and the desire to avoid that which is unavoidable is a source of human suffering. It's only difficult when you have a false model that's being used sometimes in the zoological psychology, that the idea that you're supposed to be a one-sided person, peace without war, positive without negative. As long as you're creating a foundation of fantasy, man, you're going to be stuck, because that's not how life is. Life has both sides.
Well, it's funny that you say that it sounds simple. The way that you explain it to you is, but at the same time, this is decades and decades and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of work and research that you've accumulated over these years. And it's really, you always introduce at the Breakthrough Experience in your seminars some of the history and the methodologies and the incredible philosophers that you've studied, and how you've accumulated bits and pieces of information. You've discovered what you've created as the DeMartini method. So it's simple, but at the same time, it's a lot of research.
Brendan, the truth is, it is simple. We've made it complicated with our pseudoscience. You know, when you're infatuated with somebody, you're conscious of the upsides, you're unconscious of the downsides, and you're blind, and your intuition is trying to whisper it to you, but you're unwilling to listen to it because of the dopamine fixation and the pride of your opinion of subjective bias. You have set that up for yourself. That's your own creation. It has nothing to do with them. When you're infatuated with somebody, it has nothing to do with the individual. It has everything to do with your fantasy you created about the individual. And so you set yourself up with that fantasy, and you set yourself up for the anxiety and the grief and the things if all of a sudden they leave you for another person. And why would they want to be with you when you're putting them on a pedestal anyway? It's not a match. It's not a match. They want a match. You're not a match if you're infatuated with them. You're an underdog.
Right.
And they're gonna go find somebody that's a match, that holds them accountable, that's not sitting there fantasizing about them. So this is our own creation, and the broken heart is not a broken heart, it's a broken fantasy. And until we break those fantasies and get grounded about a human being, I'm not a nice person, as I said. Nobody's a nice person or a mean person. They're all individuals with those two sides under different settings. Everybody here in this room will have times when they're nice, and times when they're mean, and times they're kind, and times they're cruel, and times they're stingy, and times when they're generous. So to expect any human being to be one-sided is futile.